Atomic bullets are not fantasy fiction. Such weapons were developed in the Soviet Union at the height of the Cold War confrontation, and even underwent a number of successful tests. What were atomic bullets and why was this project in the USSR terminated? Critical mass to explode an atomic bomb requires a certain massive charge. The weight at which the radioactive decay reaction of a substance begins is called the critical mass. For uranium-235, or plutonium-239, it must be more than 1 kilogram. Naturally, with such a mass, it is possible to make a bomb, but not a bullet. Therefore, the superpowers confronting each other in the second half of the 20th century were building up their nuclear capabilities in the form of bombs and missile warheads. But everything changed when californium was discovered during nuclear tests of bombs with plutonium and during operation of the first operating reactors. It is a transuranic element, that is, a byproduct of atomic decay, and can only be produced artificially on Earth. Californium turned out to be very insidious. Its critical mass is only 1.8 grams. A tiny pea, when squeezed, would give a full-fledged nuclear explosion equal to 100 to 700 kilograms of TNT equivalent. By comparison, 20 kilograms of TNT would be enough to kill all life within a radius of 40 meters. In addition, the californium reaction is much more effective. The uranium emits 2 to 3 neurons, and the californium 5 to 6. That is, the level of radiation in the place of impact from the latter will be twice as high. Californium-252. Naturally, the Soviets could not but try to use such unique properties of the new material to strengthen their nuclear capabilities. Atomic bullet AK-7.6. At first the inventors got only heavy bullets of large diameter for machine guns. But then the atomic bullet was minimized. Weapons and bullets were developed based on the use of californium. 8 grams of this substance was given the appearance of a dumbbell, 2 parts with a thin crosspiece. A small explosive charge, when fired, gently crushed the dumbbell into a ball, which initiated a nuclear reaction. One aimed shot and the tank turned into a molten puddle with the crew literally vaporized. A bullet destroyed about a cubic meter of brickwork. 3 shots to the foundation, the house sat on the ground as ruins. Several hits and no skyscraper. Tests were carried out to show the possibility of using atomic bullets in combat conditions. The shockwave from the miniature atomic bomb was of course small, proportional to its mass. But objects could be hit point by point, and the higher level of radiation made the weapon quite a serious fighting force. But the tests brought the matter to a standstill, and the atomic bullets were not put into military service in the USSR. What went wrong with these tiny bullets with enormous destructive power? A refrigerator on wheels and a kamikaze sniper. The fact is that the charges of radioactive substances are constantly heated. They have to be cooled using cryogenic substances. In a large bomb, the cooling element is placed right inside it. As long as the freezing is active, the warhead or bomb remains stable. When a nuclear weapon has to be used, the cooling stops. But there was no place to place the coolant inside the small bullet. That's why AK-7.6 had to be placed in a special cooler. It weighed 110 kilograms. Accordingly, the shooter with the gun could move only in a large jeep, carrying the cooler with the clips lying in it. It was only possible to take the bullets out of the freezer at -15 degrees for a few minutes. During this time I had to have time to load the weapon, get into position, aim and shoot. If it failed, quickly return the bullet to the freezer. After a quarter of an hour the reaction process in it was already irreversible. Due to the instability of the element, its destructive power was difficult to predict. Would the explosion be 200 kilograms of TNT equivalent, or 600? This problem made it impossible to calculate a safe distance at which the explosion would not hit the shooter. But the high level of radiation at the place of impact practically guaranteed that the fighter himself would be irradiated. As a result, the californium bullets were only suitable for sniper use. One shot from a long distance and the jeep ran away at full speed. Or the shooter became a kamikaze. All these disadvantages led to the fact that no one could fire more than 3 bullets in a row. In addition, it turned out that the explosion would not occur if the bullet hit a water barrier of sufficient thickness. And this meant that the ways to protect especially important strategic objects from atomic bullets would be found sooner or later. The USSR had enough less exotic weapons to destroy conventional tanks. The end of the Cold War put an end to the probability of mass use of atomic bullets. Californium was received as a product of decay. The ban on the testing of atomic bombs cut off the main source of this raw material, and the reactors produced negligible amounts of it.